1. Welcome to Made for More Living.
One small step for man.
With Johnny Jennings.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
The fastest and most exciting hour of news, events, and real estate in Northern California.
And this is a fact that was proved.
Powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Get ready. Here we go.
We have a fantastic show for you today. We have a special guest, and she shares the same credentials as Richard Branson, Jay-Z, and her name is Lisa Massey. Welcome to the show, Lisa.
Thank you, Johnny.
So are you a rapper or a pilot? Which one of those do you relate to, Jay-Z or Richard Branson?
Or a billionaire.
I don't think anyone wants me to be a pilot. I'm fast.
Fast? Well, I wish you were a pilot. I freaking hate... Yeah,
I'm so curious, though. What do you have in common with Jay-Z and Richard Branson?
Well, I was sharing with you gentlemen that I actually did not finish high school. So I am a...
But you got your GED, right?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
I know.
So you dropped out of high school. At what grade?
I finished 10th grade, and I want to say I went to school for 2 weeks in my junior year. And then I went off and took care of myself and worked 4 jobs. And
4 jobs. Wow.
Wow, that's incredible. A lot of people face those dilemmas, especially depending on the circumstances, right, Johnny? Where you decide, okay, do I want to further my education or do I just need to make money right now? I need a job ASAP. And that was the choice you made, right?
It was. I mean, I like shoes and purses, so I knew I had to really work hard.
That's what you have in common with Jay-Z.
One job was for shoes, one job was for purses, the other 2 were for living.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
Right.
So I'm with you, though, Lisa. Like, I did not want to finish high school, and I didn't even want to go to college. I did finish both, but hats off to you. I wish I hadn't, because a lot of what I learned in high school and college, I'm not using today. I have a bachelor's.
You wish you had not gone to high school?
So looking back, looking at what I learned and what I experienced, no. But if I hadn't gone, I probably would question, hey, did I miss out on going to prom? Did I miss out on these experiences?
Here's my question, though.
Yes.
Doesn't it close a lot of doors if you have not graduated high school? As an employer, I would think that would be a prerequisite. Like, hey, you have to have graduated high school, but obviously that wasn't the case for you.
So the big thing, and yes, you're right, there are a lot of, things that will hold you back, but it's really just being upfront and honest. If you are applying for a job, is really letting them know, maybe even having that conversation with them. But there are certain jobs you can't get. So I don't recommend not getting your high school diploma. But I just am someone that, my life took me in a different direction and career-wise. And
That's awesome. You didn't let your setbacks hold you down. And obviously you've been successful. But I'm curious, can I ask a question? How did those conversations go with potential employers or clients when you talk about, I didn't graduate high school?
I can't think of any conversation that I ever had that didn't go well with it. Now, I don't think that I actually ever, not got a job from not having it either. I think they just liked that I was upfront about it.
Well, my perspective is, so we have about 15 people we employ with the Made for More team, and honestly, I don't check to see if they have checked the
high school graduation.
I'm more interested in who are you as a person? What are your qualifications for the job that you're interviewing for? Can you do this job? I really don't care if you graduated college, graduated high school. I care, are you good at what you're being hired on to do? And it sounds like that's your similar experience. It's like, hey, Lisa's incredible at what she does. What are you doing these days, though, since you graduated high school?
Since I haven't.
She's rapping.
She's rapping?
I'm rapping.
Rapping and a pilot?
She's helping out
I'm filling
Jay-Z.
in for Jay-Z.
There you go.
But what
do you do? What is it you're passionate about? How have you been successful? Obviously, you've proven yourself by doing what?
Well, right now I currently work for a company called Snap NHD, and I provide natural hazard disclosures throughout the real estate community. And I really got into real estate in 2001. I was working in cosmetics at Nordstrom Arden Fair.
There you go.
Sad day when that store closed. But I was actually recruited right out of there. And it was 2001. And as you guys know, the market was, way
Sure.
hot then.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what title insurance was. And the CEO said, well, we don't really either know what it is. So as long as you can sell and, it took
So they went
me-
into Nordstrom and
Yeah,
they were
that's
like,
what I'm curious about. Did someone walk into Nordstrom and say, hey, have you thought about doing this?
Yes, I ended up, doing makeup for two ladies. They were reps at the time for a company called Alliance Title. They were on their lunch break. And so they were like, have you ever thought about selling title insurance? And I'm like, I have no idea what that is. And so they said, one gal was getting ready to get out of the business and do something else. And she's like, I think you would be great at this. So they sent the CEO in to personal shop, but I didn't know who he was.
Oh, wow.
So it was a test without knowing. And this is weeks later.
wow.
And so then at the end of my sell with him, I was wrapping
With him,
his
what were you
gift.
selling him?
I was selling him fragrance for his girlfriend.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
There
And
you
at the
go.
time.
For his girlfriends? Did you say plural?
Well, he may have. No, I think at this time he only had one.
At this time, he dialed it back a little.
Okay.
No. And so, then it took me 4 months, you guys, to get hired on with this company because they were like, oh, meet me at the car wash at Pavilions. And I met with all these different managers, but they were like, you're so young, you're 24. I don't know how this market will take to you.
Oh, interesting.
And no high school diploma, right?
Right.
But
They didn't need that.
I
Yeah.
sent a box, you guys, of socks to the CEO of Alliance Title, and I said, I'll knock your socks off. Give me a
Wow.
shot, right? And
Wow.
so
Right there. Good job.
he called me and he said, you know what? He's like, you're young. He's like, but I have a good feeling about you. And sure enough, I took off. I was successful.
Way to go.
I bought my first house at 26, my
Nice.
second one at
Incredible.
30.
Wow. Well, there you go. All
Yeah.
without a GED or a high school
Without a
diploma.
GED.
That's really great. So that's something we've discovered too is like just little gifts. Gifts open the door to like
Absolutely.
opportunities.
And it's all about connections.
So how long did you do the title game for?
So I was in title for 15 years.
Okay.
And then I ended up getting into the natural hazard disclosure segment in 2000, I want to say the end of 2016.
Okay.
And so I've been in it ever since.
What prompted that transition? I mean, 15 years is a long time.
I was ready for a change, and there was a lot of changes in the real estate market and what title reps could do and not do.
Oh, yeah.
And I just really wanted to do something different, something that pushed me a little bit more out of my comfort zone, too. And there was this realtor that she worked for this company. It was Disclosure Save, and it was bought out by CoreLogic. And at the time, she'd been an agent for many years, so she was the rep for Disclosure Save. And then she was like, this territory's too big. Do you know of anyone that would be a good, fit? And so I thought about it, and I said, well, what do you think about me? Do you think this would be something I would be good at?
Was she wanting you to say that, or was she like legitimately asking?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe. She never said.
Okay.
And she's like, oh my gosh, yes. Are you looking? And I'm like, yeah, I think I would do well at this. So she set me up with her boss, and here I am, 7 years later. And I absolutely love it.
What do you love about it?
I love the relationships. I build a lot of relationships really throughout California because it's required in the state of California. And I'm now director of sales with Snap NHD. So I've got reps in other areas, and then there's territories that I also take care of as well. So I love the relationship part of it, but the one thing that I did not think I would like that I actually have enjoyed more is speaking in front of large groups. Mm-hmm. So I just did my largest zip form training, which is how, realtors, go through the platform and they upload their contracts. Yep. And there was over 120 people in the room at an association in Temecula. So
Temecula, of all places.
Yes, and good old Temecula. But, it really has forced me to get out of my comfort zone and speak, in front of even larger groups than that. But that was an actual training that I did, and it was 2 hours. And so it's really taught me to get out of my comfort zone and continue to push forward. And it also motivates you to educate yourself more.
Yep, and that's what we're seeing just in the industry right now in general, right? Like a lot of agents they need to get out of their comfort zone. They may have succeeded in open houses. I was just talking to a guy recently. He's like, Johnny, I used to do open houses, but now I'm struggling to get open houses. Well, he has to push outside of his comfort zone and find some other ways to generate business for himself and his family. And
Absolutely.
One of the great things that you do is you will actually, like, not only have you done it, push yourself out of the comfort zone, but you will actually sit down with agents and help them, right, go over zip forms, like you were mentioning, zip form trainings, right?
Yes, I love doing the zip form trainings. I thought to myself...
For those that may not be familiar with what you're talking about, what's a zip form?
So zip forms is where the real estate agent goes in and they are going to either put an offer in, so they'll write an offer up and they send it out to the parties, or they're going to upload a listing. And so it just really shows them how to save time creating their templates, tips and tricks and ways to work through the like the RPA. And so I like to teach to that because I think, why not learn how you guys do business? It's going to help me in mine as well. And working for a company, Snap NHD, we're newer. And so I was like, how can I set myself apart, right? How can I differentiate myself from other, competitors out there? So I thought, well, get certified as a zip form trainer and then, take your show on the road. So. And
the next thing you know, you're presenting to 120 people in Temecula.
In Temecula.
You're on tour. All right, we'll after the break, we will discuss more about Snap NHD, why it's important, why you need one, and how you can get one for free. Back after this.
Mike, you and I both know going through a divorce is tough, right? For everyone. Yeah. And Cameron was going through that and he needed help. He needed some guidance in selling his home. So he reached out to Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves real estate team, and they were fantastic. In Cameron's own words, he said, even with all the issues that came up, your team kept us going and got us to the finish line. Without you and your team, I truly believe the house would still be on the market. Your generosity will not be forgotten. I will recommend you and your team to anyone I know that is selling or buying a home because I know you are the best. Thank you for everything your team did for us.
So if you're looking to sell your home and maybe you'd like to get the idea of what it's worth, the high end, the low end, or maybe just a cash offer and be done, reach out to Johnny and Tom with Made for More at tomdaves.com or just Google Tom Daves Made for More. And remember, you get more with Made for More. License number 581837.